Hello, denizens of the internet. This came up in my Twitter X feed, and I thought it was worth talking about. Clifton Duncan, primarily a podcaster, who has done great interviews with a wide range of personalities, I have met him online, started his Twitter thread with "Conservatives complain about the humanities, but never invest in them. They lament the decline of culture, yet dismiss one of the most important elements of the culture war. They denigrate artists, then bitch about how the left took over the arts." Now, based on my experience as an artist, I don't think Clifton is entirely wrong. Whenever we had a conservative government in power provincially or nationally here in Canada, there is never much talk about the arts. No conservative runs on an arts platform. I saw conservative Stephen Harper attend the big tuxedo stuff, but not Buddies in Bad Times Theatre while he was Prime Minister. But then again, I never saw him in blackface either. But while there might have been budget shifts, the Conservatives didn't take away arts budgets completely from talentless people who wouldn't be able to eke out a living otherwise. As far as art support, I would imagine that the symphony, art galleries, opera, ballet, museums are well supported by conservative money. The Medicis, I'm sure, would be considered conservatives, and look what they did. The Renaissance. Still, I'm sure they would have objected to a sculpture of the Virgin Mary made of rotting meat covered in feces. What is art anyway? The other thing to consider is that cities are not the conservatives' base. We had an odd little arts environment in Toronto called A-Space that put on the weirdest multimedia art displays and plays. I can't tell you how many times I had to sit through 3 hours of incomprehensible performance art because a friend invited me. The entire audience would be made up of kidnapped friends and family. I think that's called suffering for someone else's art. The dull suburbs like Don Mills is where we weirdos wanted to get out of. We wanted to join our fellow weirdos, which would be in the city. As a comedian, I had a more commercial mindset, like I wanted to eat. But there were artist pals who happily poked the eyes of the establishment with a sharp stick. So then I'd ask Clinton, why on earth would a conservative want to purposely support that? They were not welcome in the arts community, and you're complaining about conservatives not investing in the arts community? Besides, the things I mentioned before, the big old stuff, was considered bourgeois by my fellow loft dwellers. Clifton went on to tweet, "Hollywood and Broadway made America entertainment a global force. America gave the world ragtime, jazz, rock and roll, and hip-hop. We gave the world Hemingway, Steinbeck, Rockwell, and Warhol. Yet conservatives romanticize everything about America except the artists it produced." Well, everything except hip-hop, what you've just described, is the old stuff conservatives would like to get back to, and what the new generation you're promoting actually know nothing about. The new cohort hate history and have no interest in studying it. At least that's my experience. Try mentioning Kaufman and Hart, Hemingway, or Steinbeck to a millennial or Gen Z, you'll get back a blank stare. Ask a budding screenwriter if they had watched any of the classic old black and white movies like Fritz Lang's M. Not interested. Though I'm sure that wouldn't be Ted Cruz's jam either. Conservatives rail about the decline in aesthetics and everything from art to architecture, but are they invested in symphony orchestras, founding theaters, commissioning plays, patronizing painters, or nurturing novelists? No, they just scream that everything's ugly. As I said, conservatives are paying for the old stuff they like, and they do invest in all that stuff. Seriously. Gen Z have barely enough money for that sleeve tattoo. And honestly, there is no requirement to put money towards something one does not like. While it's true, sometimes a trend takes time to blossom. No one much liked the Impressionists in their time, but try to get a Pizarro now. And while I'm no art expert, I can't say the current crop of artists turn me on, not really seeing a future Sandro Botticelli among that lot. Conservatives say facts don't care about feelings, but feelings make facts stick. No essay on beauty can replace St. Peter's Basilica. No study on urban decay matches the visceral power of rap. Art impacts feelings. The left owns the arts, so conservative facts mean nothing. I completely agree that a sculpture, painting, song, or photograph will have a more profound effect on our souls than just a fact. Your Basilica example, however, is exactly what conservatives want to see reproduced on towels. Who said they don't have any taste? And as far as rap goes, I'm not hearing anything today more real than Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force song, Planet Rock. As far as the left owning the arts, the forced diversity, intersectionalism, and tribalism has only managed to decrease interest in the arts overall, where now you're left with a bunch of emotionally damaged people who wouldn't know intimacy unless you drugged them and threw them into a cage with a chinchilla. Clifton ended with, if conservatives want to compete in the culture war, they must support artists. Until then, they can chill out while a bunch of vapid actors and singers control the floor. Well, you got that right. If you're looking for some rapprochement between the two solitudes, then it might help if the left would stop declaring people on the right persona non grata merely for declaring their support for a former NBC reality show host. The cold shoulder Sound of Freedom got was just childish. I saw it. It's a fucking movie. They need to get a grip. Yes, I agree that this is a bigger conversation. What do you think, peeps? I look forward to your comments. Till next time, be seeing you.